This year marks the 250th anniversary of the first face-to-face meeting between tangata whenua and European sailors.
Captain James Cook's ship Endeavour coming to our shores for Tuia 250, the reenactment of Cook's journey.
But critics say spending $23 million to mark such a divisive moment is wrong.
Many years ago, we probably wouldn't even been close to these conversations. It's hard as it is. There's people out there, I can just say the word treaty and their nostrils start to flare up. We are the problem. We always have been, since Cook arrived.
Yeah, who decided that we should do this?
I understand the resistance to commemorations of Cook's landing, or as some say, of that invasion and of that violence.
That term, Cook discovered New Zealand, just shocks me that people could think that and not seeing that the land had already been very well discovered. Thank you.
I don't know about that word commemorations and what we're actually doing and when we're just celebrating and glorifying something, because I think that whole heroising is absolutely wrong.
He arrived all right, but what happened after that has been horrendous for Māori. If we don't understand that in our hearts, then we'll never really move on as a nation, or as Pākehā, to put it in context as to the consequences of that.
Lead in the sun. Hello. Oh, hello, hello, hello. When I first made my way down to New Zealand in 1769, I was told to go and find the great unknown southern continent. Everyone was looking for it at the time, you know, the Dutch, the Spanish, the French. Hate the French. And basically the way it worked was the first one to get there and pop their flag down wins, all theirs. You know, that's colonisation. Pop your flag down, bam, that's mine.
Inherent in this coming together in the process of Cook is this process of colonisation, which is a violent process aimed at destroying Indigenous people.
I don't think non-Māori realise the impact of colonisation on Māori and on themselves, on ourselves. When we don't even have an awareness, how can we then begin to take honourable action?
My ancestors came here, we took over, we murdered and plundered, we set up an agreement to try and work together and ignored that, because you're trying to give yourself permission about the past. Don't blame me, I didn't take the land. I didn't stop the language, it's not my fault. What I've done is maintained my privilege by ignoring the past.
It takes strength to go past guilt. And maybe it's helpful to realise that it's a self-indulgent excuse, in a way. It's good to be guilty when you first find out, I think, but to see it as a stage and not to stay there, and to change from guilt to responsibility.
I still do kind of struggle with the whole Pākehā paralysis kind of thing, like, oh, what if I, do something wrong?
Even just labelling it is a really important step, because once you've labelled it, then you can get over it and you can actually do something useful with it.
We've got to find a better way, a more caring way. We have to challenge ourselves.
The treaty is inspiring to me. It's a blueprint for how we can work together. And so that, for me, is the vision.
If we honoured Te Treaty, we'd address so many of the issues that are facing this country in terms of the injustice and imbalance that we see. And so why wouldn't we do that? Because it'll create a better Aotearoa for everybody.
We have to be able to believe that we can do this. And history will show us that we can.
Anyway, that's all hindsight, To look back in the past, wonder what you could have done differently. I suppose I'm trying to think about how to incorporate hindsight into my day-to-day business, Sort of look back into the past and see what it informs in your actions in the future. Sort of like looking backwards in order to move forward. You're looking backwards in order to move forward. Right, so, okay, need a little bit of practice at that, don't I? Ha. Well, anyway, come on, let's go.